So we're going to find the distance between these two lines. So if we're finding the distance between these two lines, this is in slope-intercept form. So let's compare this one in slope-intercept form as well, which would be 2y equals 6x plus 8. Divide everything by 2, and I get y equals 3x plus 4. So I have two parallel lines that I'm going to find the distance between. So what does that look like? Well, 3x plus 4, 3x minus 4. So we're going to let this one be y equals 3x plus 4, and we'll let this one be y equals 3x minus 4. On a grid, this isn't graphed as accurate, but you can get the idea of what's going on. What we want to do to find the distance is we got to pick a point on this graph, find the perpendicular to the point over here. And then we can find the distance between them because, again, the perpendicular, it represents the shortest distance between the two. So how do I pick a point? Well, you can pick any point you want on either line, but my suggestion would be select the easiest point. An easy point here would be 0, 4, the y-intercept. I'm going to use the y-intercept and then figure out what is this point here. And then I'm going to use the distance formula between those 2 points to figure out the distance between the two lines. So in this case here, I don't know what this point is, but I can see it is the intersection of y equals 3x minus 4. And it intersects with this perpendicular line. What is this perpendicular line? Well, it's going to be y equals, it's perpendicular to this line. So that means it has a slope of negative 1/3 x. And then because I chose this y-intercept, that makes it pretty simple to figure out. So now all I have to do is figure out where do these two lines intersect. Well, if they're both equal to y, then that means 3x minus 4 equals negative 1/3 x plus 4. So solve for x. I multiply everything by 3 because I want to get rid of that 1/3 fraction. Solve for x, add x over, and I get 10. X, add 12 over, and I get 24. And I get that x is equal to 24 over 10, which is equal to 12/5, or as some of you may know, that is also 2.4. I then want to go plug it back in. I'm going to choose y equals 3x minus 4 to figure out what my y is going to be. So if I go 3 times, I'll use the decimal. It doesn't matter what I use, but I'll use the decimal. I get y equals 3 times 24 is 72, so that will be 7.2 minus 4, and I get y equals 3.2. So I have the coordinate 2.4, 3.2. So that means this point over here, right here, is 2.4, 3.2. And I need the distance between these two. So when I do the distance formula between my 2 points, I got 2.4 minus 0 squared plus 3.2 minus 4 squared. Simplify, and again, use a calculator when you need to, if you need to. 2.4 squared plus negative 0.8 squared. I have the values here. Without my calculator here. Look at which one I'm solving for. So 2.4 and 0.8, we get the square root of 6.4, which is approximately 2.5 units. So again, a quick recap. We put this into slope-intercept form and then we compared. We had to pick a point. We didn't have a point, we picked a point. I chose an easy one, so I could go right into, I knew that this was going to go right into the y-intercept for y equals mx plus b. And once I had the intersection of those two, I then was able to set them equal to each other, solve for x, plug back into the easier one for y. Now I have this second coordinate, and all I had to do with my first coordinate that I selected, 0, 4, and 2.4, 3.2, for distance formula. Once again, I went to the calculator.